Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. I don't know if this is on or if it's not. We're coming to you half an hour later than we usually do today. The lighting's kind of weird in here too, so hopefully everything's gonna be going over okay. I'm trying to find my. There we go. 8:30. Oh, hey, look at this party started. We are going to be coming to you today from Wisconsin. We are in the bedroom that I grew up in. So let's start this off. This is going to be our 830th episode of the Wednesday Show. We're going to start it in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 830th episode of the Wednesday Show. Today is July 16th, 2025, and I'm your host, as always, Brent Dodge. Hello. Today, we're going to be coming to you from Wisconsin. We're going to be going through and answering your questions. If you joined us last week, I kind of gave a heads up that this was going to be a shorter episode instead of doing our usual hour because I am up here visiting my family. We're only going to do it in a half-hour episode. While we go through and answer your questions. Also, I'm going to try to go through here and do a promotion because I did not I did not promote this at all. I was literally just walked in from visiting my nieces and nephews and meeting my newest nephew. So let's go through here. And we can do a quick little thing on. There we go. We're going to go here onto Instagram, and we're going to do it this way. Okay, we are coming to you live right now from, where am I looking? Right here. Haha. I don't know, but we're coming to you live right now as we go through and talk all about Disney on the Wednesday show. It's going to be a shorter episode. We're in Wisconsin right now. So if you guys want to join us, click the link right down here. Okay. And we'll see if anyone joins us here. Join me here. Yeah, so I spent the day with my brother and then my other brother and then my other brother and then my niece and my nephew and my niece and my nephew and my niece and my niece. So it's been a fun-filled day, but it's been a crazy day, and we're usually here at 9:30 Eastern Time, 8:30 Central Time. And instead, I was trying to start heading out, and then my niece and nephew started to go through, and they just got back from a big vacation. So they're going through and trying to tell me all these things about their vacation. And I was like, okay, gotta go. So they live about an hour away. So it was just a little bit later start today for the Wednesday show. I'm thinking maybe next week too, because it'll be my last day with them. That next week we'll probably do the same thing. We're going to start at 10 o'clock and 9 o'clock instead of the usual 9:30, 8:30 time standpoint. Okay, but we're going to go through today. We're going to answer your questions about anything and everything Disney. So if you guys have any questions about anything or everything Disney, start throwing them into the comments below, and we will go through. We're going to do only a half-hour episode tonight. So start throwing those questions down right now. We now have people popping on. So also, hopefully the internet connection's okay. It's showing it's a little low on my side, but hopefully it's not too bad. And that everyone can kind of go through and they're getting that. Maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's working at all. Usually at this point we have at least a few people popping into the comments and saying stuff, but is it working for anyone? It keeps on popping too, like saying like people are popping on, and then it's showing that we might not have. Oh, there we go. We got one. Hey Zoe, how you doing? So yeah, I almost wrote to you the other day because I was in line for Expedition Everest, and I was in the single rider line, and I started talking to the person who was in front of me, and they're like, "Oh, I'm from Oklahoma," and I said, "Do you know my friend Zoe?" And they said, "No." I was like, "Oh, they're from Oklahoma," and they said, "Oh, which part is it?" I don't know, but I just figured everyone in Oklahoma knows each other, and they did not seem like they understood the joke. So yeah. Okay, so start throwing your questions down. We're going to answer your questions about anything and everything Disney. While we're here, we might as well do a little room tour. Ooh. While we're sitting here and while we're waiting for these questions to start going through. So obviously, I've always been a huge Star Wars fan. So we got Star Wars. This entire wall behind you is all Star Wars too. Lots of Star Wars. Oh, that was a terrible idea because now the wires not going down. Behind here we got Mickey's House of Villains, which was a made for Disney DVD / home video poster. We got Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. The Fox and the Hound over here. This is a Walt Disney World poster from 2001. I want to say. I could be wrong on that. I'll have to investigate. This is a puzzle of Mickey over here. And then we got other things. Casablanca, Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is Harry Potter. This is Rocky. It's not just Disney, but a lot of movies. Hello, Frank fam. How you guys doing? Okay, so for those of you guys who are just joining us right now, we just had a huge surge of people hop on. Today we are doing an Ask the Expert segment where you guys go through and ask your questions about anything and everything Disney. So start throwing those questions down in the comments. Like I said last week, this week and next week's show are going to be half-hour episodes. I was also planning on having it so we were going to be here on time, but unfortunately, we are a little bit later. So next week, we will be going through and starting at the later time as well. And then we're going to be going back to our 9:30 time in 2 weeks. So we want to know more about that Spider-Man pizza poster. Let's get this here. So Slice Man. So it's not Spider-Man. It is Slice Man, cheese slinging superhero. So this is from a restaurant. It's a pizza restaurant that was founded in, I want to say it was Madison, Wisconsin. Don't quote me on that. Someplace in Wisconsin. And it's my favorite pizza. I really like, I love. It's called Rocky Rococo's. It's a great pizza chain. It's just great deep dish pizza. Not too deep, but it's like deeper dish pizza. And it's one of those places I have to go to all the time. But it's everywhere you look in the restaurant, there's these posters of Rocky Rococo. That's the guy with the mustache there. And he's in all these different movie posters. They've got him in things like Pirates of the Caribbean, Indiana Jones, Star Wars. There's Wizard of Oz. There's a lot of different things. And overall, it's just, it looks like the classiest place in the world. So yeah, it's a great place. There was a Wizard of Oz one that I wanted to get a picture of today too, but unfortunately there was like people sitting right in front of it and I didn't want to be like, in your face. How is your family doing? My family is doing extremely well. Man, you just bumped up to number one. I don't know how this number one, number two, number three thing's working. Is it just because whoever's typing the most? So I guess fight over yourselves. Try to figure out who's number one, who's number two, and number three here. The more you type, apparently, the higher up in the ranks you go. We're still trying to figure that stuff out, but I kind of like it. So my family's doing good. I spent a little bit of time with my brother Tyler today. We went to Rockies together, and then I went to my one brother's house, and I met my new nephew, and then I had three of my nieces are there too. And then I went over to my other brother's house and I spent time with my niece and nephew. So overall, it was a really good day, really fun day. Oh, wait, any other questions out there? Because tonight's episode solely relies on you guys sending out questions. So throw your questions out. You had a good time? Yeah, I had a great time. Oh yeah, we did the fair too. So my parents and I went to a fair, and the only picture I have on my phone and not on my Instagram story is this duck, because I did the picture of the duck and then I turned the duck into Donald Duck. But the fair was fun. We watched duck races, which are really funny. We saw this transformer car, which was kind of cool. And then we went through and looked at like the horses, or not the horses. We didn't go to the horse barn. We went to the cow barn, the sheep barn, a lot of barns. It's very Wisconsin. But yeah, it was overall a lot of fun. I got other people asking. Oh, people are asking questions on my Instagram right now for this episode. Does that car that you saw really drive? I don't think so. I think that car that we saw is completely fake. Here, let's go to the picture. It looked like a transformer. If it pops up, there it goes. And then it just kind of went back and forth. They're like, hey, you want to see it do a trick? And then its trick was it literally spun around, the torso spun around in a circle. I don't think it drives. It's on a trailer. And I'm pretty sure that trailer just takes it from fair to fair to fair. So, yeah. Disneyland turns 70 tomorrow. Yes, it does. I was really hoping that I would be able to make it over there for the 70th anniversary. But maybe I'll be there for the 75th, because the 75th I feel like is going to be a bigger year than the 70th. But yeah, I'm very excited for what's to come. I have avoided everything with the 70th, mainly due to the fact that I will be there in 6 weeks. So I just want to make sure that I'm not really spoiled by like the Walt Disney show or anything like that. So I've been avoiding everything like the plague. Do you like the new Test Track or old Test Track better? So this is the third version of Test Track. My personal favorite is still the first version. The third version is my second favorite. And then the middle one, which is the one that closed down last year, easily my least favorite. I did not like the second one very much. Test Track was one of those rides that I would go on every now and then, but I didn't go on it consistently. And unless you were going to go through and build your own car, it really was not that good of a ride. So like, for me, it really wasn't worth me going out of my way to go through the queue, because it was just a long wait. But what I would do sometimes is, they used to have it on the second version. So if you went to the exit, you could build your own car there too, which most people didn't realize. So I used to go through there. I used to build my car there, and then I would hop in the single rider line, and I would use that car that I just built and have it so that was on there. But the problem was, if you didn't build a car, if you just went through the single rider line, you didn't build a car, the ride was kind of pointless, because you were in a competition with other people with the cars. So you would look at the different things and be like, oh, this car won. And it's like, oh, well, I didn't build the car. So you're just kind of sitting there. So overall, I was not a big fan of the second version at all. It was one of my least favorite attractions at Epcot for years and years and years and years and years. It wasn't my least favorite. My least favorite is Mission Space, but might have been my second least favorite. I never really cared for that one. Even though I loved the original one, I really love this one too. So I'm guessing I will be going there multiple times over the course of its duration, whether it's 1 year or 50 years, I'll be going on quite a bit. Any videos coming about Disneyland tomorrow? I will. Yes, I actually have. So I really don't remember all my videos that are going to be coming out. I have all of my videos completely done and edited, with the exception of 3 shorts, but they're all scheduled to go live for the next 10 days when I'm here in Wisconsin. That way I can spend as much time with my family as possible. And I have a full video coming out tomorrow about a Disneyland detail that is found at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So tomorrow, watch out for that. That's going to be coming out at 10:30 Eastern time. So at 10:30 Eastern, go check it out. And then around 6 o'clock, we've got another special Disneyland short that's going to be coming out too. So wait for that as well. I get to see Walt Disney Magical Life next week. Ooh, I'm excited for you. I think that's going to be exciting. I'm excited to check out the Walt Disney show. So if you don't know, for the 70th anniversary, they do have a brand new show with an animatronic of Walt Disney over in Disneyland, where the Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln is. And that show is going to be, right now it's just going to be the Walt Disney show. And then after about 6 months, what they're going to do is they're going to start rotating. So it's like every hour will be the Walt Disney show, and then every hour and a half hour will be the Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. So that way you can be able to go through and watch both of them. But yeah, I'm excited to go check that out. I think it's going to be a good show. I have no idea. It could be awful, but like I said, I have been completely avoiding everything about the show because I don't want to be spoiled. on it whatsoever. If you're just joining us, we have a few people who just joined us. We are going through and answering questions about anything and everything Disney, so throw those questions down in the comments below. Ooh, water's good. I'll let you know if it's good. Thanks, Matt. I look forward to hearing what you think. All right, any other questions out there? Let's do some Disneyland trivia with you guys. So okay, right now in Disneyland, how many lands in Disneyland were not that are current Disneyland? So how many current Disneyland lands, like Fantasyland would be one of the lands, how many current Disneyland lands were not around on opening day of Disneyland 70 years ago tomorrow? That's going to be your first trivia question. How many Disneyland lands were not around that are still around to this day that were not around in opening day of Disneyland? Matt says 3. Any other guesses out there? Hello, Wishy Mouse. Andrew Garcia says 4. Frank Studebaker says 4. And the correct answer is 4. What are those 4? Those 4 are New Orleans Square. That's the original one that was first added. That's still around to this day. Our second one was Mickey's Toontown. Is the next oldest. Third oldest one is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And our fourth one, which is the newest one, is Bayou Country, which used to be Critter Country, which was Bear Country, which was Frontierland. It's gone through a lot of different changes. Well, let's do another Disneyland trivia question for you. The drawbridge that is found in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle has opened and closed how many times? It is an actual working drawbridge, and it has opened and closed before, but how many times has it opened and closed? Matt says 1. Any other guesses out there besides 1? Matt says 1. So the Disneyland, the Sleeping Beauty Castle drawbridge. Andrew Garcia says 6, maybe a stretch. It is a little bit of a stretch. We'll give you guys a few more seconds to lock in your answers. Oh, we also have this thing here too, don't we? We've got that little quiz thing. 3. Go between Frank Pham and Matt, and you got it. It's 2. So the 2 times that it's been open was, one time was 70 years ago tomorrow on opening day. It opened up. And then the second time was actually when they reopened the Fantasyland back in 1985. They went through this massive refurbishment of Fantasyland, and they rededicated it by opening up the drawbridge for its second time. They were going to use it for the 50th, but unfortunately, it wasn't working. So they decided not to. Okay, let's do another Disneyland trivia question. What's another good one? We don't have as many Disneyland trivia questions off the top of my head. How many stairs are in Sleeping Beauty's castle? Ooh, Frank, do you actually know the answer to this? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm literally counting in my head right now, and I'm not even joking. I'm actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You turn 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn 11, 12, 13, 14. And then you start going down 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then you turn again. I want to say 32. 32 is my guess. You counted them at one point, but you forgot. Thanks for wasting our time, Frank. Okay. I think 32, I think actually is right. Going through in my head, I can go through most attractions in my head, and I'm fairly certain it's 32. Because you go up, you go in and you take a left, you go up. I want to say it's up 6 stairs. And then you go to the right a little bit, you go up 4 stairs, and then you go to the left. I'm pretty sure it's 32. I could be wrong. And now we're going to be going through and recounting that in a month and a half. How tall is the Matterhorn? Oh, I do not know. Let's talk about the Matterhorn. Let's do a a trivia question about the Matterhorn because I like that idea. So the Matterhorn, which opened up back in 1959, is a 1 to 100th scale of the actual Matterhorn in Europe. Almost everything on there is exactly duplicated, but there's one massive error. What is it? There's one thing that's completely wrong, and what is it? Last time I was in Disneyland was in January, and I was with my friends who were standing in front of the Matterhorn. Two of them had never been to Disneyland before, and I gave them this trivia question, and they're like, I don't know. And I told them, they're like, oh, I had zero clue. This is one of those trivia questions, though, that's like very random, but once you find out about it, it's actually really, really funny trivia question. Not that it's not up to code, no. So the problem is the Matterhorn, it's 1/100 scale. However, it's backwards. So if you go to the actual Matterhorn, the point that's facing north in Disneyland is actually facing south, and the part that's facing south in Disneyland is facing north in real life. So there was a climber, an expert climber, who a few years after it opened up, showed up there, and he said, "Oh, he goes, it's amazing. It's an exact duplicate." He goes, "But why do you have it facing south instead of north?" And that's when they realized that they built it the wrong way. Okay, let's go through. Let's do a few more trivia questions about Disneyland before we wrap up, unless anyone else out there has any questions. If you guys have any questions, throw them in there. What can you find in the Matterhorn? You can find part of a basketball court. Actually, one of my favorite things is if you watch the Imagineering story, Bob Gurr talks about the basketball court, and he says that it always drives him crazy how people talk about there's a basketball court inside of the Matterhorn. He's like, it's not a court. It's just a basket with a little bit of a, not even half a court. It's like a third of a court maybe. And he said it kind of drives him crazy when people say there's a full basketball court in there. He's like, no, it's only a third of a basketball court. Okay, let's do another Disneyland trivia question here. Now I'm trying to think of a random trivia question that most people may not know the answer to. We've done that one. We'll throw that one out there, and then I'll try to think of another. What was the bumpers on Autopia? What were they made from on opening day? So on opening day of Disneyland, 7 years from tomorrow, all of the cars at Autopia had bumpers made from the metal of the future. What was the metal of the future that was used? And also keep in mind, by the end of the day, only 2 cars were working because the metal of the future was not really, not very effective here. Matt is correct. It was aluminum. It was aluminum. Okay, let's do this trivia question. I'm going to have to try to figure out the answer while I ask this, so bear with me here. How many Disneyland attractions that are around still to this day, and actually we'll go through this one together. You guys give your answers, and I'll give my answer too, and then we'll kind of go through and try to figure this out. How many Disneyland attractions from opening day are still around in Disneyland today? Everyone make your guess. I'm going to make my guess too. I'm just trying to get a general idea. I'm going to say, I'm going to say 9 is my guess. But we're going to go through and figure this out together because I really don't know off the top of my head. Okay, Matt says 7 in the chat room. And what I'm doing right now is I'm pulling up my Disneyland app. So we can go through. Frank Fam says 12. I said 9. Matt's got 7. Frank Fam's got 12. Any other guesses? How many attractions that are still around to this day were around on opening day of Disneyland exactly 7 years ago tomorrow? And I'm also kind of curious because I feel like some of these things people are going to go through and say, that's not really an attraction. Or they're going to be like, oh, yeah, definitely attraction. Okay, let's do it this way. This might be the best way to do it. Okay. So if anyone else wants to throw answers in there while we go through, we'll take yours in. Okay, so Adventureland Treehouse, that was not around. Alice in Wonderland was not around. Asteroid Orbiter was not around. Autopia was. We got one. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad was not. Buzz Lightyear was not. Casey Jr. Circus Train was not. Centennial Park was not. Chip and Dale's Gadget Coaster was not. Davy Crockett's Explorer Canoes, that was. Right? We're going to have to look into that one. Someone in the chat room, do your research. Was Davy Crockett's Explorer Canoes around on opening day? I feel like it was, but I could be wrong. Disneyland Railroad, that's definitely R2. The Disneyland Story presenting great moments with Mr. Lincoln, that was not. Donald Duck's Pool was not. Dumbo the Flying Elephant. I'm trying to think. One of them was, and one of them wasn't. Dumbo the Flying Elephant, I do not think was opening day, and the Mad Tea Party was opening day. One of them was opening day, and the other one came a little while later. We'll put it down, and then we'll get to Mad Tea Party. I think Mad Tea Party was. Davy Crockett's Canoes was, Matt. The Submarine Voyage was not. Fortune Tellers was not. Frontierland Shooting Exposition, that was around, right? Oh, man. I do not know my Disneyland. So Matt says Davy Crockett's was around 25. Haunted Mansion was not. Indiana Jones was not. It's a Small World was not. Jungle Cruise was. That's 6. King Arthur Carousel was. That's 7. Mad Tea Party, we already gave it to. Main Street Vehicles, they were around. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be right. Many Adventures in the Poohs, not. Mark Twain Riverboat, that was 9. Matterhorn was not. Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway was not. Mickey Minnie's no. Millennium Falcon, no. Minnie's House, no. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was. That's 10. Peter Pan's Flight was 11. Pinocchio's Journey, that opened in the 80s. Tom Sawyer Island was not. Pirates of the Caribbean was not. Pixar Hale's Playtime, no. Obviously, it says Pixar. Roger Rabbit's, nope. Sailing Ship Columbia, yes. That's 11. Sleeping Beauty Walkthrough, that was not. Snow White's Enchanted Wish, no. However, if it never went through the refurb, then yes, it would have been. But 11. Space Mountain, no. Star Tours, no. Star Tours, no. Star Wars, no. Storybook Land Canal Books, no, but almost. Tiana's By Adventure, no. So 11. 11 is the correct answer. Frank Fam, you were the closest. Wow. We were close. That was, wow. So there's a lot. All right, let's do another Disneyland trivia question. We'll do 2 more trivia questions before we wrap up so I can go spend time with my parents. I left my parents here all day and then went to hang out with all the nieces and nephews. And I walked in the door and they were like, how was it? And I was like, yeah, it's good. I got to go upstairs and do the show. So let's do 2 more Disneyland trivia questions before we wrap up tonight's episode here. Now I'm looking at the map. I'm trying to find like a really cool one. Oh, which attraction? Let me rephrase that. At which attraction's entrance can guests find the Little Man of Disneyland? At which attraction's entrance can guests find the Little Man of Disneyland? I feel like Matt's going to know this one. And I know we have a lot of people who usually follow me for Disney World stuff. So you guys can throw an educated guess out there. Not the treehouse. You're really close. But it's not the treehouse. It's near the treehouse, though. But it's technically at the entrance of a different attraction. The Little Man of Disneyland. Indy. It is Indy. So at the entrance of Indy, there's a little tree. And on that tree, there's a little door that's on the base of the tree and a little smokestack coming out. And it's the house of a man named Thomas something. I can't think of his last name right now. But he was a guy who lived there, and then all of a sudden Disney came in to buy all the property. And he said, whoa, this is my home. You can't do this. And they gave him all the ideas of what they were going to do at Disneyland. And he said, you know what? I really like these ideas. Come on, let's do it. And then they went through and they created Disneyland. So there's a little golden book story about it, which is definitely worth checking out, in my opinion. Oh, I'm looking through the map right now, trying to figure out our final question of this evening. Let's do. I want to do one about that attraction, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. So let's go to a different attraction. Okay. Let's do this one. When you are in New Orleans Square, you can look up towards the roofs, and on the roofs you can find little U shapes, upside down U shapes, and sometimes it's just a U with a line coming out. Sometimes it is an upside down U. Sometimes it is, there's a bunch of different things. What are these for? They're little metal pieces that are up near the ceiling. You can also find these in Adventureland at Magic Kingdom. You can also find them in Liberty Square in Magic Kingdom as well. There's a few different spots around Walt Disney World that you can find them. You can also find them over in World Showcase, and I'm trying to think of exactly where. In the UK Pavilion. They are not weather vines or weather vanes. They're actually indicators. So if you are going into those streets with a wagon or a larger car, it is teaching you how to maneuver the street. So it's actually showing you the correct way to turn around using a wagon. So that's why some of them will be like a U, some of them will be this, because you're going to do a turn and then you have to back up before you continue going back down. Okay, but that's going to be concluding tonight's episode. We are going to go back down. Well, we're not all going downstairs to see my parents. I'm going to go downstairs to see my parents. But thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. We will see you guys next week at 9 o'clock again. So make sure you join us at 10 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock this time. So next week we will be coming half an hour later again, just to have it so I can spend as much time with my nieces and nephews as possible. So thank you everyone for joining us. As always, remember anything can happen if you let it. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me.